Hello everyone, welcome back to another installment from Deluxe Rider 19 here in beautiful Knox County, Tennessee. It's like 83, 84 degrees according to my phone when I left the house. Going to take a short ride up US 441 here, better known to the locals as Norris Freeway. I'm going to take a ride up to the west overlook of the Norris Dam. It's a ride I make probably once a month. If anything, just to get the bike out and get it moving and stay on it a little bit. It's a beautiful short little ride. It's pretty no matter what time of year you go up there. So the dam is ran by the Tennessee Valley Authority. It's a hydroelectric dam. Some fun little facts about it. They started construction of it in 1933, October 1st, 1933. It was a project. It was the first dam project that TVA undertook, and they got the money from to start TVA from the New Deal project. So it's not the oldest dam that TVA owns, it's just the oldest one that they've built. And it's something like 1,800 feet across, and I think it's 267 feet tall. It blocks off the Clinch River, gets power to a lot of people in Tennessee, eastern Tennessee. The lake itself behind it is called Norris Lake. It's another fun spot for the locals. And it's got 33,840 acres of water surface. I'm not really this smart. I just did research on it this morning. But I've been going there a long time, so I figured I should know more about it. I knew the lake was pretty big, and I knew that the dam itself was probably about a third of a mile long, just because I've ridden over it so many times. But some interesting facts for it is, when they built the dam, it connected the upper part of Knox County here and the part of Anderson County that Norris Freeway runs through to the other end of that road, which takes you to, Interstate 75. So it was good for that. They widened a lot of Norris Freeway because they needed room for the trucks to get there to build the dam. So that helped out the locals too. They had a better road, better ways to get stuff places. But yeah, it's a very beautiful ride. This is Norris Freeway here. You take it up to State Road 61 where it doglegs for a second. And you ride through. TVA's also got some like tree orchards up there near the dam itself. It's either a state park or a federal park around it, but beautiful ride. And I've said it in other videos, and I'll say it again. This is one of the many reasons I love East Tennessee. It's Sunday afternoon. I couldn't sleep. I woke up at like 12:30. Only been asleep for 4 hours. I'll have to go pick up the kids in a little bit, so I figured why not take a relaxing ride. Maybe I'm stressed and that's why I can't sleep. I don't know. But yeah, I hadn't made a video in a couple weeks, and part of the reason of that is the weather's been kind of crappy, and then after the weather got better, I've had a cold and I'm still recovering from it. I'm not 100%, but I couldn't talk, so I have ridden, but I didn't make any videos. If I can't talk, there's no point in putting the camera on my head. But as I was getting better, one of my sons had to have outpatient surgery. So I spent all this last week with him on my days off. And obviously you can't put a 1-year-old on a motorcycle. I think that's frowned upon in any establishment. But it's specifically frowned upon by me. And I think my wife would probably frown upon it even worse. So I didn't try that. But he's better now. He's back to his normal self. So he's with his grandma for the day so Dad can sleep and Mom can work. And I'll pick them up this afternoon. But I've seen a lot of stupid stuff in on the roads lately. Saw a guy weaving in and out of traffic the other day on a Harley in flip-flops. He looked like he was trying to be Jimmy Buffett, though. He had the Hawaiian shirt and the khaki pants and the flip-flops, like he was going to the beach, except we're nowhere near a beach. More power to him. I hope he enjoyed the skin that he had on his feet prior to ever laying it down, because it didn't look like it would be a very fun situation for him if that happened. Just people in East Tennessee, I guess, and probably everywhere, but I only notice East Tennessee because obviously I live here. There's just some weird things. I had a meeting that I said before. I'm the road captain of my motorcycle club, and we have a meeting with some of the other clubs every so often, so we can exchange information on rides and stuff like that, so people can join us if they want. And on the way home, some dumb 16-year-old, she looked 16 anyway, she was young, she might have been an adult, I don't know, but she was backing out of a driveway over a blind hill. So I come over this blind hill going like 35 and a 30, maybe even slower than that. I might actually have been going 30 miles an hour. But I crest this hill, and there's a friggin' four-door Jeep Wrangler right in the middle of the road. So I lock it up, and she honks the horn at me and puts me the bird out the window, which I thought was odd because I almost hit her because she was an idiot. It's not like I did anything reckless there. I didn't crest that hill doing 60. But to make it worse, 100 yards from where she was backing into that driveway, not even 100 yards, probably 50 yards, she just stops in the middle of the road, sits there, finally turns on her left signal and turns left. Like she didn't know which way she wanted to go. Signal before you slow down. If you don't know where you're going, why back out on the road till you do? I mean, you live right up the street from it, or you're visiting right up the street from it. You should kind of know where you're going. But, teach their own, I guess. But feels really good today. I'm hoping that we finally crested out on all our little heat waves and are finally getting into the pretty fall weather that we're known for. Hopefully we don't get a lot of rain and we can enjoy some cooler weather without a bunch of rain. It's nice today. I mean, the humidity's not even bad. Usually in August, even though it starts cooling down, the humidity's so bad you don't want to be outside, at least here. But it's nice today, especially in the shady road. The wind temperature on my skin at 50 is, it's definitely not even into the 70s. It feels great. I almost feel like I probably should have put my light jacket on. I know, preaching to the choir. This guy's not wearing shoes, and I'm not wearing a jacket. But I'd say within the next month I'll have my jacket on. It'll be getting to that point where even in the afternoon it's too chilly to be riding without something on, just to, the wind. But I look forward to riding in the winter because I have heat gear, so I can ride in the winter, and it's kind of nice. It's weird feeling like a little warm pocket in the middle of all this cold weather, almost like you're in a microwave. It's really weird. Well, I guess the microwave, you're cold on the inside and hot on the outside. But either way, it feels nice. But I guess I'll talk a little bit more about the Tennessee Valley Authority. They've got a bunch of dams in East Tennessee, for those of you that aren't familiar. If you heard of the band Old Crow Medicine Show, they've written a song about one of the dams, the Watauga Dam, talking about how, the government came in and told them, hey, we're going to build a dam here, and this will no longer be a shoreline. That's pretty much what they did. In that song, they flooded an old area that the Cherokee Indians occupied back in the day, so that's why it's called Watauga. That was the tribe or whatever. And, you know, they sing in the song about being a half mile down under the water. That's probably true. I mean, when they build these dams, they flood so much property. Like at the Norris Dam, they flooded part of Union County, part of Anderson County, part of Campbell County. They had to buy like 152,000 acres of property to build the dam. They had to relocate something like 5,000 graves and almost 3,000 families. They flooded an entire community of Lewiston, Tennessee. It is no longer, like, it doesn't exist anymore for the North when Norris Lake became a thing. You know, and that it's good in some ways because you know, it brings recreation money into the economy, and it's a renewable resource. There will always be water behind that dam, hopefully, and they can keep the turbines spinning. And, you know, it's better than coal and things of that nature. And every now and then, it creates a really beautiful picture, because every now and then they'll open the floodgates at the top of the dam. They're almost always flowing water through the turbines. But every now and then they'll open up the gates at the top. You know, they give warning because people fly fish in the lower part of it. Because they say it's some of the best trout fishing out there. I'll have to try that sometime. I just never got really into fly fishing, I guess. But they usually do it during the summer when the river is, you know, or the lake is getting full from heavy rainfall, if we get lucky. Usually when I go up there during the winter, you know, you can see at least 15, 20 feet of what should be covered in water, but is not. But every now and then in the winter, they'll get too much water up there, and it'll get up to the floodgates, and they'll open them and spill it out over the dam. And it's absolutely gorgeous. If you're into photography, when they do that, they'll put a, wow, what happened there? That's odd. You know, the local news will do a story about it, because it is unusual. They don't do it very often. And, you know, people send in pictures on Twitter and on the news channel's Facebook page. And there's some absolutely gorgeous pictures, because when they're flooding it, you know, it's like 25 degrees outside. The main water is not going to, like, the main flow of water is not going to freeze. It's too much water moving too fast. But the little mist particles freeze. And it's really cool. It gets on everything. It makes a really interesting looking picture. Because we don't get a lot of snow in Tennessee. We get a lot of ice or whatever. But it almost looks like it snowed, but it's really slick over the top. It's really cool looking. So yeah, this is State Route 61 that we're here at right now. If you go that way, it takes you to Norris. If you go that way, it takes you back into Anderson County. That sign over there says, "Welcome to Historic Norris," and that's true. A lot of the city of Norris was actually built for the workers of the dam. Another interesting thing it did for the economy up here. You know, they built a whole town around this dam. So I've ridden that way before. When I first started riding this way, the first couple of times I came up here, I screwed up and went up that road instead of coming up here to the actual where Norris Freeway connects back. And State Park, Norris Dam State Park, not Federal Park. But there's some really pretty houses up there. You know, you could tell they were built in the era that the dam was built in the 30s. So TVA was actually the first people to get a contract to build it. And I did know this part before I did some research. I just didn't know the exact numbers. But a bunch of different power companies put in bids to build this dam up here because they wanted to build it and sell power. But State Senator Norris where it got its name, he really pushed for the federal government to build a dam up here so that it could be. They were worried that the power companies would only worry about generating power for money and not really work on the flood control, which is also what the dam was needed for. The Clinch River flooded a lot, so if it's going to flood a lot, just flood all the land it floods, I guess, was the theory. But the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers tried and tried, but kept getting shot down by the Senate. And then when FDR signed the New Deal, it gave money to fund TVA, which is now self-funded through power sales. And they have this dam and Fontana Dam and Watauga Dam. They have one in Alabama. I mean, they've got a bunch, but those are just the 4 that I know of. They've got a couple coal plants. If I remember correctly, they've got a nuclear plant, or maybe they don't own the nuclear plant. I don't know. But there's a nuclear plant in Kingston. But they've at least got a couple, steam plants, or coal-burning steam plants. So, State Senator Norris did a good thing for this area, helps control the floods, gave it easy, you can't really say free power source, but it doesn't cost them anything to buy the water to run it through there. They just have to maintain what they've got. The water comes through for free. The rest of it costs them money, obviously. But this is probably the most beautiful part of this ride, and it's unusual. I've only passed a couple of motorcycles. Usually I see tons of them on this road right here, and I've only passed one on this road. Usually I can't make it 100 yards up the road. See, there's one of their orchards. It's a walnut orchard. Unfortunately, nobody's allowed up there but TVA personnel. I'd love to ride up there and see what it looks like. It looks absolutely gorgeous from here, but who knows? I wouldn't even know how to get permission to go up there. I'm sure if you called TVA and said you were like a photographer or something, they might have someone go up there with you, or if you're some kind of environmentalist type person. But yeah, it's got even colder on this little section of roadway here. Part of that's probably the elevation change too. You can feel it, the pressure in your ears as you're starting to climb up a little bit. But I don't know if you can see through the trees. I know I can. That's I guess they call it the tailwaters, maybe. That's the part of the river that comes out from the dam. It's super shallow. It gets even shallower in some spots. They've got a little weir dam to help with that, even up here on the left as well. But usually there's tons of guys out there fishing for trout. Or maybe I'm in a deeper section. Yeah, I think the trout fishing's actually a little bit further up. There's a little parking lot. That's where they usually park to do their fishing. But I didn't see anybody out there today, but that sign's legit. You got to watch out for deer up here. They'll jump right out in front of you. There's some pavilions and stuff that are here by the overlooks that people use for, like family reunions and things like that. Someone down there taking photos at the grist mill barn sort of thing. But it's just absolutely beautiful area. What I always do, and I'm not doing it today because obviously I'm still getting over this cold, but I'll bring like a cigar up here with me. I'll sit at the west overlook. They've got some benches up there, and I'll just look out over the river, smoke a cigar, have some me time. But one, I don't feel well enough with my sinuses and throat and all that to be smoking a cigar. And two, I don't want to sit up here for 45 minutes. I'd like to get back home and get my truck and go get some groceries and go get the kids before my wife gets home from work. But we should be approaching the dam very soon. and be able to see it in all its glory. I guess it was finished March 4th of 36, so it took them almost 2.5 years to build it, which is kind of impressive when you see it, that they got it built in 2.5 years. I love the twisties leading up to it, and there's some twisties on the other side of the dam going up to the west overlook that are even better. But so if it was finished in 36, it's almost 80 years old. Pretty impressive. Not really sure what that big boat's doing up here. There's nowhere to put in up here. You'd have to go to Big Ridge probably to get somewhere to put that in. But here we are at the dam. To the left is like the fishing waters. To the right is the actual lake. You can see it there. It looks like they've already started lowering it for the winter. You can tell by the discoloration there on the shoreline that it's not as full as it normally is. And we've gotten quite a bit of rain, so it's not that. Yep, Norris Dam, 1936, TVA. Somewhere right underneath us, there's some big inlets soaking up tons of water. I don't know, they might not be flowing they might not actually be flowing the turbine. I'll know when I get to the top there at that little overlook. But I don't think you can see the GPS on the camera, but these twisties on it look friggin' awesome. It is 2 hairpin turns back to back. You don't have to take them fast. You know, it's not like the Dragon or anything. But it's fun. To me, it's one of the coolest parts of the ride. And it may be because I know these curves really well. I thoroughly enjoy riding on them. I'm used to what I need, like the lean angle I need to go into them correctly. I know how fast I can go into them, and be comfortable and not have to like really stress over staying upright. But about a year ago, I saw somebody manage to end up going down that steep embankment there on a Harley and not get hurt. I was rather impressed. I don't know how they managed to do it, but I was coming around that curve going up the hill, and I just saw them like veer off the road and down that embankment. I don't know if they were screwing around on something on their handlebars or what, but there were some people down there that checked on them, and they were okay. So, but I'm pulling into the Overlook Park area now, so this is where I'll end it. I'm gonna use the half helmet on the way home and feel the breeze on my face and listen to the music and things like that. So I hope you enjoyed the trip up Norris Freeway, US 441. Some fun facts about Norris Dam. And I will see you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that if you haven't. And ride careful, guys. Have a good one.